Hello, I'm English Bob. Welcome to the Storytellers series. Here with James once again with his latest contraption that he's bringing to you as a presentation for your public knowledge and for your performance enhancement. And as you can see, I'm in his studio today, traveling over from Lower Ipswich. Glad to be here, and as you can see, James likes to show off his Americanism. He's such a patriot. You know, this Boss Micro BR digital recorder that he's showing you today reminds me of the time when I was in the Lower Ipswich marching band in 5th grade. And that's where I came about with my Bob About dance. You probably don't know about that, but it goes like this. You could just bob about, but that's for another time. So let's get into it with James today, shall we? We're going to investigate this Micro BR digital recorder. So take it away, James.
All right, English Bob, thank you for the intro. Hey, everybody, welcome back again to the Storyteller series. Today, I wanted to feature, as English Bob told you, about the Boss Micro BR. Now, this baby has been with me for years, and I think this is probably my favorite technology tool of all the goodies that I have and bought through the years. As far as a songwriter, man, this thing is just gold. And I'll give you a couple of quick stories about it. It's battery driven as well as AC, but the microphone in this thing is just awesome. Like, I was so shocked the first time I used it. I said I couldn't believe what I was hearing from this little tiny microphone. And it's been on many journeys with me. It's loaded with songs, and you can download these into your Mac or your PC in MP3 format or WAV. It does both MP3 and WAV. It's got 4 tracks. It's got effects. It's got an MP3 trainer. It's got drums. I don't use any of that stuff. I'm so primitive in my ways as a songwriter because I'm really very traditional in my approach. I want to save everything I do. So I am very relentless and religious about getting things down quickly. I don't fuss with, for instance, take a look at the book, okay? This is the book. I mean, it just goes on, and it's 130 pages. So I know about, just like with Logic, I've been using it for 10 years or something. I probably know about 20% of it. But I get the job done. So I'm not a believer in knowing every single thing about your tools and your toys. It's more about how can I make this thing be effective for me and use it and start getting the juice out of it right away. And, I'll pick up knowledge as I go along, but there's other people who are better at doing these things than I. As far as deep dives on this stuff, there's a bunch of guys who can do this stuff on other channels. But what I'm trying to impress upon you today is how practical is this tool for you as a songwriter or creator that can take this and do all kinds of goodies with it. Like, take it with you wherever you go. I mean, I have this thing loaded with, I think there's like probably, 90 different songs on this, and I've downloaded it a few times. And when this thing came into my life, I decided that, as a little sidebar, I was not going to write songs in a traditional sense like I used to sit down and write a whole song. I don't do that anymore. It's like, I never do that. As a matter of fact, I was explaining this to my producer on Music Row in Nashville, Kim Copeland, and I said, I don't really do that anymore. What I do is I just put down pieces of things. I don't know if it's a song title, if it's a riff, if it's a bass line, a piano riff, if it's just singing in the car. And I get these things down. And sometimes they are almost complete songs. But it's like capturing the magic in the bottle, the genie in the bottle. You want to get it really quickly and seize it. So what I did when I did my very first album on Music Row with Geography of the Soul, I had been writing for quite a while, and I had compiled about 75 or 78 pieces of music. And I went on vacation. I was in the island somewhere, and I took out this little thing and headphones, and I had given them I'd given them just like ridiculous titles. Whatever came to me, I would say, all right, that's the title. And I sat there on the beach, and I had a notebook, and I started going through these things and listening to all of them. And it took a while, but like I said, they weren't all full songs. Sometimes they were just like, hey, this is a poem. This is whatever. And I started giving them scales of nothing. If it was below a 2, I wouldn't even write it down. But it was usually from a 3 to a 7 or 8 was the highest I would give it. And I would write that next to it. And I'd say, okay, anything that got like above a 6 or above, that was like a keeper. So out of all that stuff, I ended up with maybe 12 to 15 pieces of music or works that I said, this sounds really good, and I'm going to work on just this collection. Forget about all the other stuff. That's for another day. But what it does is when you listen back like that, you're like, wow, I'm listening for the first time, and I hear something really kind of magical here. This is really cool. I forgot all about this. And so, instead of like spending all this time writing, pouring yourself into a song that's maybe not that good to begin with, try to just shorten your time frame a little bit and preserve your collective goodwill for the songs that are worth it. But I don't know if you can see this here, but this is how it represents where your songs are. And you can just go through, and if you can see, I'm just giving them any kind of ridiculous titles, something that'll jog my memory to say, oh yeah, I remember that one. It was this, it was that. And so that's how I got my album together for Geography of the Soul. So I'm going to play you guys just a couple of clips. I want to start with this song, Amen. And now the funny thing about this is this was a Christian album I did in 2017 with a band called Mercy. And his album was titled I Am Victorious. It's about Jesus' last days, right before he was put to death. And so the Lord inspired me to get real water sounds. And I lived near this great park, this kind of wilderness park. So I took this little bad boy out, and I said, all right, I know there's a little stream up here. So I went into the stream and placed it on a rock, like right in the middle of the stream. And it's about as natural as a water sound as you could get. So check this out. I wanted to just play you for this to illustrate the clarity and the clean sound that this thing has for just something as simple as water running through a stream. And I'll put the link to the song. The song turned into Amen, which is more of a prayer than, we're not trying to be tops of the pops here. It's more like when you're on your way to work, you listen to a song like this, and it will put you in a really great state of mind. So, of course, I'll leave the link under the description. So if you want to listen to the whole thing, just be my guest. So this is Amen.
Amen.
Our Father,
Amen.
who art in heaven,
Amen.
hallowed
be your name. Your kingdom come. Your will be done. On earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us.
So the next clip I want to play for you is from my very first album on Music Row, full-length album. And I think this was in 2014. And, you know, I had this song for a while. It's called Beat the Pinata. So what I did is I recorded it on here, on my little trusty Micro BR. And it was the genesis of, all right, is this going to be a keeper? And I thought it was, because it was real life experiences, and I was really angry, you know, and I had to get this out. You know, it's my past. So Beat the Pinata was very, it was a metaphor for things that I went through, and in school and home and all kinds of things. So it was kind of a grieving and cleansing thing that happened to me. I was purified by this song. And incidentally, the guitar player that did a lot of my work, James Mitchell, fabulous guitar player. So he did most of all the lead work, but I cut his solo short in this one because I really felt like I had something to say. So I used my Strat and got really angry on that. And it was pretty exciting for me to be part of that. So anyway, I'm going to play you the first version of this and on the Micro BR, and then I'm going to play you the demo, not in its entirety, just little pieces, so you can get a feel for what the quality of this is again. So this is Beat the Pinata on the Micro BR.
This one is Beat the Pinata. Beat the pinata, yeah, beat it till it breaks. Beat the pinata, yeah, slice it like a steak. Yeah, it's swinging from a tree. Step up and take your turn, singing do-re-mi. You're like an angry, vicious, marauding dog. You got your bite into me just like a bone to a saw. Stuck in your bulldog black and white habit. You use me like a fucking test lab rabbit. Go ahead and beat the pinata. Yeah, beat it till it breaks. Beat the pinata.
So you get a feeling of where that came from. So now I'm going to play you the traditional way that I would present demos to my team, because I had some great players working with me on this record, and I can't thank Kim Copeland enough for bringing these people in, because she not only brought in the best players. I mean, these guys have played with everybody in the Nashville area, but she brought in the right players. People who really understood my music and would gravitate towards what, and you can feel it when you're in the room that people were into it, and that's really, really important. So having said that, what I would do is I got away from the idea of try to do all the arrangements, you know, put down a synth part and a piano part and all that stuff. You know, I'm not really a piano player, but I can come up with parts. In bass, same way. I'm really a guitarist. But this time I said, no, I am going to just present a voice, a guitar, and a metronome. And that's it. I want to get in the heads of these people and let them hear something fresh right out of the gate. Do not put any pre-programmed ideas in their mind of, oh yeah, this is the way I think it should go. I mean, these guys have libraries of history they're walking around with. So I was all over taking advantage of that. So anyway, I'm going to play you Beat the Piñata right now of the way I would present it to them. And I would use high quality microphones and just get in front of them and just play the song beginning to end. Of course, I'm just going to play a piece of this. And just to give you an idea of the progression of how I use from the micro BR to the CD.
Beat the piñata, beat it till it breaks. Beat the piñata, slice it like a steak. Beat the piñata, see it swinging from a tree. Step up and take your turn, sing do-re-mi. You're like an angry, vicious, marauding dog. You got your bite into me just like a bone to a saw. Stuck in your bull-dyed black and white habit. You use me like a fucking test lab rabbit. Go ahead and beat the piñata. Yeah, beat it till it breaks. Beat the piñata. Yeah, slice it like a steak. Oh, beat the piñata.
So you can hear the difference in the higher quality microphones, but it's not that huge of a difference from that little micro BR. I keep raving about it, but it is a higher quality, of course, because I'm using, I have very expensive microphones. But you want it to be like pure. And a couple of times I went down there and I just played live in the control room with everybody sitting around, just listening to the song while they were reviewing the charts. So I want that that intimacy and that directness of, I want them to feel where the song is coming from. So I tried to make really good, clean demos, nothing fancy, just communicate the song in the best way you can. And again, it all starts with, do you have something that you can carry around like this baby here, that gives you the ability to just create on the fly and just keep creating, man. Just keep coming up with stuff. I'd have these sessions where I just get in a groove with something, and I just play it on and on for 6 minutes, 7 minutes, 8 minutes, and it would start to come together. So that's the track that I would present to my Nashville gang. So where does it go from there? Well, it turns into, all right, everybody take the places. And my place was, the only reason I brought my guitar down there at all when we had these sessions was for, I'd bring my Taylor acoustic. And I would just keep it handy. Like if somebody had a question, I would just run out in the studio like, hey, what are you doing here on this part? What are you playing right there? And I just run out and play it for them real quick. Oh, got it. Okay. And then off we go. Didn't even happen that much. These guys really knew what they were doing. So I would just be there as the sort of backup producer, which I'd keep my mouth shut unless I heard something I didn't like. Just let it evolve, and as the vocalist and the writer, of course. So I'm wearing enough hats. I don't need to, insert myself into the band. I had another method for that, is when I came back from finishing my work, they would send me all the stems, and then I'd go to work on overdubs if I needed any in my own studio. So I want to play you the finished version of Beat the Piñata, which was, as I said, a good song for me to get out there. And, you'll hear some really good playing on this, too. So here's the full version of the mastered Beat the Piñata from Geography of the Soul.
Beat it till it breaks. Beat the piñata. roaring dog. You got your bite into me just like a bone to a saw. Stuck in your bulldog black and white habit. You use me like a fucking test lab rabbit. Go ahead and beat the pinata. Beat it till it breaks. Beat the pinata. Slice it like a steak. Beat the pinata. See it swinging from a tree. Step up and take your turn, singing do-re-mi. Hiding from the morning father's rage, positioned all the cereal boxes like a cage. Never found a level of trust achieved. I just walk home battered, beaten, bereaved. Walk home battered, beaten, bereaved. Bless me, Father, for I have sinned. I guess I'll conjure up a couple confessions for Father Quinn. Is this an Irish Catholic joke that I'm living in? All I need is my shrink and a great big bottle of gin. That's right, I get through this. Go ahead and beat the pinata. Beat it till it breaks. Oh, beat the pinata.
Just to give you a little taste of that, enjoyable. I hope you guys, and listen, I'm going to put all the links for this stuff in the down below this video, so you guys can, of course, just click on, I don't know if we're using Spotify or SoundCloud or whatever, but if you want to listen to the whole thing, I think you'll enjoy the music. Not so much from my perspective, but the people I'm working with, really, really great. So enjoy that. And also, I am an Amazon affiliate. So if you guys do make a purchase on the Micro BR, I do benefit from that. And incidentally, there's another version of this out. It's I think it's the 808. No, it's the Micro BR 80. That's the updated one. So that is out there, and that's available. That's kind of on steroids compared to mine. So if you want, I think it does like 8 tracks or something. I don't own one, so I can't really comment too much on it. And again, I don't do the deep dive stuff. I could leverage this thing to the hilt if I really wanted to, but my system of doing things, for me, is much better because I want to take the tools that I have and get as much leverage out of them quickly, so I can get back to writing and playing and working on my vocals and songwriting instead of tinkering all the time. I don't want to get caught up in engineering. I'm pretty good at everything I do, but I don't want it to suck the life out of me. So I hope you get that. This channel is more about, I'm dedicating it to practicality for people who are trying to advance their careers as musicians, songwriters, singers, whatever that is. So these things I present to you, hopefully they're really beneficial to you and your career. So let's see. In closing, I would just like to thank English Bob for coming on and getting us started here. And all the links, as I said, are below. Just help yourself. And I really look forward to the next session that we have. We can get into more about songwriting, more about some of the techniques that I've been successful with, which I'd like to continue sharing with you guys. And hopefully, your music is coming out and going into the direction that you want it to go. So that's it for me. I'm James Kevin O'Connor, the Master Storyteller. It's great to be with you guys. So until the next time, be blessed.
Oh, pumpkins and tea bags. That was a delightful presentation of modern technology and good old school fashioned songwriting know-how. Kudos and cupcakes to you, James. If you would like to purchase this recorder, there's an itsy-bitsy hand-scrabbling of numbers and jumbled associations down there and scribblings. Encourage your mousey to have a go at it, and it shall arrive at your door promptly. You can also prescribe to this channel, if you so choose, by clicking and snapping somewhere on the confusion below this page. I don't know where. And that concludes our episode for today. Signing off for now, I'm English Ball.
Amen.
Our Father,
Amen.
who art in heaven,
Amen.
hallowed be your name. Your kingdom come. Your will be done